Alright guys, so here's this your makeup lecture for the lecture we missed on Wednesday. So we're going to be talking about your final presentation, which is due next week during your exam period. Don't forget that if you need a video conference, or if you would like a phone conference regarding your final paper topics, let me know. So what I have open right now is I have Google Docs open to talk about what's required of your final presentation, and I'm also going to take you step by step in going through Google Drive and also taking you through the steps and kind of the don'ts of making presentation slides. So your final presentation requirement is going to emulate, which means to copy exactly what's going in your final paper. Don't forget that your final paper is due next Friday at midnight on Blackboard. Your presentation's on Wednesday at normal class time. That paper is still 6 to 10 pages. Don't forget that your works cited doesn't count. I absolutely need your works cited because if you don't attach a works cited to a research paper, I'm not going to accept it. Also, if you are doing a rewrite for one of your papers, which you are allotted to do one rewrite of any of the papers this semester, that those are also due next Friday as well, so I can get those grades in and make sure that the adjustments are done for the final grades through NOVA for your transcripts. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Your final presentation requirement is that basically remember that your final papers, you are the expert on that, so I shouldn't see tons of text. So I'm going to put the don'ts on this document and also pop it into Classroom right after this. So the don'ts of your presentations, give my second. Okay, there we go. So the don'ts of your presentations, you don't need any paragraphs in your slides. It's understood that the slides are mostly for your audience and also for you to remember what you're supposed to say. No one is going to be reading huge paragraphs within your presentation. So I shouldn't see any really big paragraphs, and it should mostly be bullet points. So use mostly bullets, and this is to help you remember what to do as this is loading. The next thing I need to make sure that you guys do is we're going to talk a little about the presentation color theory. Most of us has been guilty of doing presentations incorrectly, or we've all been in a presentation in which the colors hurt your eyes as the viewer. Do not use high contrasting colors or colors which are too close. So some of those no-nos, a lot of us have seen it, are like the black background with the red text or orange text. It's really hard and a strain for the viewer. Also looking at having yellow in there as well. You never want to put yellow and orange on the same slide because it's really difficult. So remember, no paragraphs, you're looking at that, and no high contrasting colors as well. And so those are the big don'ts for me in terms of what your presentation should be. And so I'm going to put the requirements right here. So some of the requirements is that you're basically going to take us through your paper. The only person who's really going to read your paper word for word is going to be me when I get them next Friday. But your classmates really just need a taste of what your problem-based solution is. So we're going to take a look at that. So first you need to have a title page. Remember, you're using MLA style, so you want to put your name, my name, the class, which is English 112, and the date, so that needs to be on the title page, and basically what you're going to be talking about. Other things you need to put in, so next is you need to introduce your topic. I would recommend that this is only 1 to 2 slides. We don't need a huge introduction to your topic because we really want to hear more about the problem within your topic and also what your solutions and concessions are, as well as what you recommend for further research. So next is going to be the problem within the topic. So this is where you're going to have your research, statistics. But remember, please don't get too wrapped up in it because the main point of this is just give a tasting. So I would still recommend only 1 to 2 slides. Remember, no big paragraphs. You should know way more than what's on your slide. One of the most annoying things, I think most of us have done it and also have endured it, is like you're looking at a slideshow where there are huge chunks of body paragraphs and there's no way that we can read that all, and also having someone who's presenting and they read word for word from their slides. That's a very big pet peeve. You need to know more than what's on there. So make sure you have your problem with the topic. Also, you're going to put your proposed solution. This is the most important. Is this. I don't care if your introduction is beautiful. If you don't have a solution, which is the whole point of the entire paper, also of your presentation, then nothing else really matters. So show us like your step-by-step solution. Most of your topics are going to include advocacy, and so this is most important. And then last, remember, you need to admit concessions and further research. So with anything that we have when we're looking at research, there are limitations to our knowledge. This also should be present in your final research paper, but there are limitations to what you know. So that's what your concessions are. You'll see that in your textbook as well. What we don't fully know. So what are places like you would like further research, and they're going to tie into each other in terms of like if you had unlimited money or resources, what could someone do in order to get more information on there? We briefly talked about one of the examples of doping within high schools and seeing whether or not they should do random urine tests, things like that, and how it interacted with the FERPA law and the HIPAA law as well. So further research could potentially be awareness, community outreach, to include what are the legal ramifications and things you would have to do in order to get something like that implemented. And of course, works cited. The great thing about this is that if you've already done your works cited in a lot of your annotated bibliography, then you're already going to have all this stuff. I don't recommend putting every single one in there, but if you can't remember where you got the information from because you're pulling from your research paper, that's fine. So anything you put in this presentation, just like anything you put in your final paper, you need to have it cited correctly within within all of the slides, so that way I know where you got the information. Remember, your in-text citation should go directly to your works cited, to where if I needed to double check your information, I can just go straight from in-text to works cited into the main source to double check the information to make sure that's accurate. Everyone will have approximately 5 minutes. At the 5-minute mark, I am going to put a timer so that way we respect everyone's time in presenting. You should be in presentation outfit. This is counting as your final, which is 10% of your grade. Don't forget your annotated bib was, I believe that for you guys it was 5%, the paper's 20%, and then your final, which is this presentation, is 10% of your overall grade. So if you've been struggling in this class and you've made sure to do all the discussion board posts, even if they're late, they're still, according to that rubric, a 7.5 out of 10. And then you've rewritten a page after we've talked about it, really consulted about it, and got this paper, then you should be fine for this semester. I do not want you to waste your time and have to retake English 112. I know that's been a challenging semester with the snow days and this class being condensed from what was a 14-week, much smaller, and then becoming a hybrid. If you need any additional information, please let me know, or if you would like to schedule like a Skype interview and just go over your paper or things like that, let me know. Like I put in the announcements, it has been a very trying week at my day job, so there's a lot of things going on with the passing for a librarian and some of the situations with the student who shot off a gun, so there's a lot going on, so I apologize. I wasn't there in person yesterday in order to give you guys a lecture, and I hope to see you guys next week. Please let me know if you need any information. Email me. My phone number is also on the syllabus that's attached in Blackboard. So if you go in there and just send me a text or send me an email to kablos@nvcc.edu in order to get additional help, let me know. All right, guys, I look forward to seeing you next week at your final exam, and let me know if you need any help. Bye.